Are you trying to figure out the secret to happiness? Well, here at What Makes You Happy with Jake Pearson, we want to make that happiness more accessible for you in your life. So stick around as we interview everyday people, inspirational leaders, and your favorite celebrities on what makes them happy. Disclaimer, this podcast discusses mental health. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you're struggling with your mental health, please remember it's okay to ask for help and seek the appropriate help through a qualified healthcare professional. Welcome back to the podcast where we ask the question, what makes you happy? My name is Jake Pearson, and today we have with us a possibility coach and the founder of You2 Shine, who empowers people to turn their hidden possibilities into achievable opportunities. We have Victoria Rader from Springfield, Virginia, USA. How are you?
I am happy. I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. That is what we want to hear. Thank you for having time to come and share what makes you happy. Would you mind starting with what makes you happy, Victoria?
Yeah, biologically, boringly, the same hormones that make everybody happy make me happy. Serotonin, dopamine, a little bit of oxytocin, and occasional anandamide. So yeah, but in terms of how those hormones are triggered is number one, my pets. I am an animal person. I have 3 dogs and a cat. And just before we chatted, I was cuddling with my cat who was purring, and when I'm feeling down, I'm gonna go snuggle with the pup and allow the oxytocin flow, and that makes me very happy. So that would be my number one, what makes me happy quickly go to.
What are some of the other things that make you happy outside of snuggling with your pets?
Yeah, I am a competitive tennis player. So competing and playing tennis, physiologically, yes, endorphins are flowing, but I also love to grow and get better. So I have an amazing tennis coach. I love that. I love playing tennis. I have an amazing team, great girls. So connection to my team makes me happy. And what makes me emotionally happy and fulfilled is seeing how people I care for, whether it is closest family members or my clients, experiencing miracles, anything that they deem to be miraculous. I think that makes me happy to the point of choking up.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit about what makes you happy. From your experience, what would you say to our audience, our listeners who are struggling to find a little bit of their own happiness in their life?
Yeah, years ago, I have come up upon one line that kind of blew my mind away, and that was in a conversation between Desmond Tutu and Dalai Lama. And Desmond Tutu said, there have been some research that said that we have to have 4 centers in our brain to be activated that make us happy. It's the center for being, how to be present, the center for being able to process positive emotion, the center for releasing negative emotion, and the center for generosity. So actually, I've put so much passion into studying that and developing ways to activate those centers. So if somebody is struggling with finding happiness, I'd say ask yourself a question, which one of those 4 you struggle with, and start right there. Is it harder for you to be in the moment? Or maybe you can be a little bit more generous. If you're miserable right now, do you have $3? Go find somebody and treat them to a surprise. Or put the $3 in an envelope and say from universe to you. And see what generosity does as a very practical happiness. Or maybe get help knowing how to process positive emotions. Or better yet, go and forgive somebody to let go of negative stuff. So yeah, those are the tips for where you are. You can find what blocks your happiness and then unblock it by activating one of those.
What was the concept called again so our audience can go and research that? Was it the center?
So, here's the great irony, Jake. I couldn't find anything. The book is called The Book of Joy, and it is by Desmond Tutu. And there's one liner there, one liner. So 10 years, okay, I have a PhD in metaphysical studies, and I have all kinds of energy modalities. I've actually created a free video, there's no string attached, on YouTube that activates those 4 centers. So if anybody wants to know it, I will be happy to send it to you, to send it on to them. They'll watch it in the privacy of their own home. It'll open those happiness centers for them, and nobody has to know. They can just be secretly happy.
Well, Absolutely. We'll leave that resource in the podcast episode description below. Victoria, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you come and share what makes you happy. We do appreciate your time. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope it gives you something to think about on your quest to discover what makes you happy. Make sure to check out whatmakesyouhappypodcast.com to connect with today's guest and follow us on all our social media platforms and to stay up to date at what's happening next at What Makes You Happy. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you next time.